It was after that Laura started to change. She became unpredictable. As she got older, she got worse. Staying up with men, drinking all the time. Finally, it got so bad, I had to ask her to leave home.
I know it must have been very difficult for you, but now that you know why, will you come and see her?
Oh, I can't.
She needs you.
I think a visit from you would help her.
All right.
I found out that your first husband is divorcing you.
What?
Apparently, he filed for divorce nearly a year ago, which means, of course, that it's almost finalized now.
That can't be right.
I can assure you that it is.
All right, lady, now you've got the negatives and we want them. So hand them over and we'll leave.
Well, don't just stand there looking at me. Why don't one of you throw a pot or something?
Oh, geez, Wally, I'd rather grow it than throw it.
Excuse me, Mr. Wallace. Can I see you, please?
All right, Lizzie. Show them how it's done.
Oh, have a nice time.
There has been a break-in at your place, Mrs. Reynolds. She's been beaten up. The police want you there straight away.
Yeah. All right, ladies. Sorry, though. That's all for tonight. Just make certain you clean up when you finish. Will you?
You heard! Get on with it! Oh, good, Mason. Just in time to clean up.
Well, now, I wondered where you'd got to.
What's the matter, love? You look as though it's the end of the world. Here we go.
It is, Lizzie. Eddie, he's divorcing me.
Sounds like a nice painless way to get rid of a bloke to me.
But it's a sin, Bea. Why would he do that to me?
Well, it could have something to do with the fact you married 5 other blokes.
I tried so hard to be a good wife. To all of them.
Never mind, Pixie. I mean, you must have done something right. None of the other blokes complained.
Listen, I think we can do without the counselling session. If this isn't cleared up in 5 minutes, it's straight back to cells.
Bloody wowzer.
Come on, let's get going then. And what do you think you're doing?
I don't know. Just going to put the clay away.
Yeah, well, if you want to help, you can sweep the floor. I'll do this.
Sure.
And God, are you all right?
I don't know. It hurts all round the ribs.
I'm afraid Mrs. Reynolds has been badly beaten, Mr. Wallace. I'd be surprised if there's any bruising. Sounds like they were professionals.
Has anybody called a doctor?
Yeah, I'm going to take her up to the hospital and get her properly checked over.
I'll come with you.
Well, if I might just ask you a few questions before you go. Seems these thugs broke in looking for a photograph or negative.
And?
You were right, Wally. We couldn't handle this by ourselves. I had to tell them.
Yeah, well, I don't really think there's anything that I can add to what Mrs. Reynolds has already told you.
Yeah, I realise that. Oh, I've got a man up fingerprinting your flat now. Not that we'll find out anything. They knew their job, these blokes. Bit of a mess, though.
Yeah, well, I imagine when they realised that Paul and Anne didn't have it, I was the logical suspect.
Yeah, sorry, Wally. I had the negative up there. I thought it'd be safe. Only when they started beating Mum, she had to tell them.
Well, I can understand your mother letting them in on the secret, but I wish somebody had told me.
Sorry, mate. Look, I'd like to get my mother up to the hospital.
Yeah, right. We can finish this tomorrow. Just a formality, Mr. Wallace.
Yeah, all right.
Inspector Fields. The photo. We're fairly sure there's another copy. Paul thinks he sent one into Wentworth.
Yeah, that's right. It's just we haven't been able to find it.
I think one of the women, B. Smith, knows where it is.
Right, I'll be in to see her in the morning. You be all right?
Yes, thank you.
You saw the sister? Well, yes. But she was extremely hostile. And she refuses to release the money.
Oh, does she? You see how a materialistic world corrupts both the mind and the soul, Redders?
Yes, I see.
Well, this is not the first time we've had to fight corruption to allow our followers to see the perfect truth. We shall fight the sister in a way she understands best. Through the law.
The law? But Reverend, you have always told us that the law
is an idea rather than an element. And we believe only in the elements and the life force of nature. Nevertheless, we must fight the infidels as best we can, Red Earth. Sister Peacebird will get her money. Then she can relinquish it ritually, and so find peace and perfect harmony with the cosmos.
And Sister Peacebird, is she to know?
Oh, in time, brother, in time. Right now she is meditating for her initiation, and we must not disturb her.
And we had that frog hopping around for a week. I was terrified every time I went into the bathroom.
Gee, mate, you're a bit of a tearaway at 7.
Yeah. Well, a lot of years have passed since then. And I don't think Mum's caught up with them yet.
Oh, of course I have. But we all like to reminisce. What about your family, Dennis?
I don't talk about my family, Mrs. Morris.
That's because you've got nothing interesting to say, have you, mate?
Marty, that's awful. I'm sure it's not true.
No, Marty's right. Not very good at conversation. I bore people.
Well, I'm not bored. I'm very interested in hearing about your family.
I think I'll leave you to it. I'll probably be getting back.
Marty, we're in the middle of dinner.
I've got ages yet, mate.
I've got some things to do, Den. Better get on to them.
This is our first night together.
Well, you too enjoy your dinner. I'll see you tomorrow, Mum.
Oh, bugger it. I want to watch that film too.
Never mind, Lizzie.
Too much television stifles the intellect.
Oh, shut up, Brandy.
Turn it off and I won't tell you twice.
It's such a lovely film. Couldn't we watch it to the end?
Get out. Come on, hurry up.
What are you doing here?
I was just about to ask you the same thing.
I forgot something.
Yeah, so did I. I've got to teach you who calls the shots around here. I wouldn't try it, Smith. No, hand it over to. Oh! Ah! No! Ah! All right, you can have it. Oh, no, Dugan. Oh, no. Set this up. Come on, I'll take your head off like cunning thing.
All right! It was Lionel, fellows. Oh.
Then when he ran off, Mum had to look after the three of us. My sister was only 11 then. She had to take care of us while Mum went to work. I'm sorry. Guess I'm talking too much.
No, of course not. Must have been very hard on all of you.
Yes, it was. I never really had a friend until I met Marty. He's been a real mate to me. Do you know, if he hadn't brought me round here, I would have spent my whole leave on ship.
Oh, rubbish. I bet there are at least a half a dozen girls just waiting for you to call them.
Girls? Well, not very good with girls. I never know what to say, and they always end up laughing at me.
Hello? Who is this?
Something wrong, Mrs. Morris?
That was one of those anonymous callers.
Oh, shouldn't we call the police or something?
Oh, there's nothing they can do. It happens all the time. Oh, it's just that I've been lucky up until now.
Look, if it'll make you feel any better, I can bunk on the couch tonight, in case he rings back.
No. I'll be fine, really. I'm just a bit tired.
Oh, yeah, well, I better be going. You sure you're all right?
Yes, I'll be fine.
Good night, Mrs. Morris.
Good night.
We've known for some time that someone in the department has been organising illegal paroles and pulling records from the files.
And you think this someone is Mr. Douglas?
To be honest, he wasn't suspect until this business with the photograph.
Come in.
B. Smith, Governor.
Thank you, Miss Ferguson. Smith, Inspector Fields would like to talk to you about the photograph we know you have.
Oh, you're that sure I've got it, are you? And I suppose you want me to hand it over to him like a good little girl.
Look, Smith, I haven't got time to play games. What about this photograph?
Yeah, OK, you can have it. As long as you assure me you'll make good use of it against Douglas.
Yes, well, at the moment there's no hard evidence except for this photograph. But if the allegations are true, he is going to find himself in very hot water.
Oh, good. I hope he boils in it. That bastard deserves all he gets. I'll get it for you.
Thank you.
Oh, by the way, Fellow sent a heavy in here to get that picture back. Her name's Dugan. I'll get rid of her in a hurry if I were you, before I do the job for you.
Well, I nearly freaked when Dennis told me about it. You know he's going to ring back. I mean, they usually get a number and stick with it.
Well, I'll just have to hang up again, won't I?
Yeah, well, we've got a better idea than that, Mum. Here.
What on earth am I supposed to do with this?
Just blow into the phone with it. Makes a hell of a noise.
Well, if that doesn't discourage him, nothing will. Thank you both very much. I just hope I don't have to use it. Didn't have to rush around just for this.
Yeah, well, we didn't. Look, Mum, you need a man around the house. Better still, a couple of sailors. Now, look, those tiles in the bathroom need fixing. And the kitchen cupboard here, it's almost off its hinges. And that's just for starters.
Well, that's very sweet of you, but I have to go to work.
Oh, all right. We'll manage it.
Yes, I'm sure you will. Well, when you finish, how about joining me for lunch? I'm on a split shift, so I'll have plenty of time.
Oh, great.
Right. Who's going to clear up this mess?
I'll do that.
Thanks, Dennis.
You know, the way he went on about you to me this morning, I reckon he's got a crush on you.
Just because I was nice to him? Don't be silly.
The thought never entered your mind.
No, it did not. And I'm sure it didn't enter his either. Now, will you leave me alone while I get ready for work?
I was floored when I heard you were at work today. I mean, what will keep you home if a beating and 2 bruised ribs won't?
Nothing at the moment. It just keeps piling up. Anyway, it's not really worrying me much.
Only when you laugh.
Yeah, so none of your terrible jokes, please. Now, what about these drawing classes?
Oh, you got no worries there. They'll be a great success. Especially when I hire the male models.
Please, Wally.
Sorry.
Come in.
Hello, Mrs. Reynolds. And Mr. Wallace. Would you like some coffee too?
Yes, thanks. White with 1.
Right. There we go.
Thank you, Mason.
That's all right. And white. And 1 for... Darling! Oh, why didn't you tell me you were coming?
What?
Mason, stop that!
You Jezebel! How dare you try and steal my husband? Well, you'll never take him away from me. Never!
Mason, this has gone far enough.
Would you like some more milk, Mrs.
No,
Reynolds?
no more milk, just... You may go, Mason.
Yes, Mrs. Reynolds.
Don't laugh, please.
Oh, Mrs. Morris, have you been able to arrange for me to work in the library yet?
No, I haven't yet, Carter, but I do have some other news for you. I've been to see your father.
My father? Well, you mustn't tell him I'm here. God, I'd die of shame.
It's all right, Carter, he understands. He's here to see you now. All he wants to do is talk to you.
Laura? It's been a long time.
Well, hi there, Daddy dear. Well, it must have stuck in your throat to come all the way down here just to see me.
Mrs. Morris said you've been sick.
Sick? Yeah, sure I'm sick. I'm sick of the way you screwed up my life, for starters. Always blame me for Mum's death. And I am sick of the sight of you, you pasty-faced old hypocrite. What the hell did you come down here for, anyway?
You haven't changed. You're the same as you always were. I was right to kick you out of the house. You're evil!
Bloody pious bastard!
You! Sorry, Mr. Gardner.
I should never have listened to you. I should never have come here.
Look, please try to understand. She is sick.
She's not sick. She's rotten to the core. That's what you are.
You piss off, Dawn! Get out! I won't ever see you again! Bugger off, Dawn!
Well, at least you could have got something out of Douglas before you gave the photo to the cops.
Look, Douglas is going to go down for a stretch, and that means he's going to find out exactly what we've been going through for years, and that's better than money in the bank to me. Yeah, I'd reckon. God, I'd love to be a fly on the wall at Woodridge when they bring that old pofter in.
Hey, congratulate me. I think I've finally done it.
What have you done now, Pixie?
I made a pass at Mr. Wallace.
You what? Oh, you are off your rocker.
Of course, that's why I did it. Mrs. Reynolds will think I'm madder than a hatter.
Come on, you lot. Break it up and get to lunch.
Oh, listen to that. Loud mouth.
And Marty had to go back to the ship. Well, he didn't say a thing about it this morning.
We didn't know then. It was a last-minute thing.
Oh, well, suppose it can't be helped.
Oh, no, this way. I hired a car.
You hired a car?
Well,
but Dennis, I have a car.
I know, but Marty and I wanted to take you somewhere special. It was a surprise.
Well, it's very sweet of you.
When we both went on duty, I was stuck with the car, and so, well, I thought we'd go anyway. It's a picnic.
All right.
Oh, no. Where did you get that stuff from?
Oh, she pinched it from the kitchen. Wonder what she wanted it for.
Thank you, Miss Ferguson. I'll handle this. Okay, Mason, what have you done to your hair?
Oh, I didn't do anything, Mrs. Powell. It was the Martians. Well, they were hiding in my cell.
Oh, I see, I get it.
They had these big silver laser guns and they went zap, and my hair turned red. Well, Mars is the red planet, you know.
Well, zap, let's go.
Back to the Martians?
To the showers, get out.
Bye, Pixie.
Oh, God. She makes my old bones young again.
Now, although you're in a deep sleep, you are able to open your eyes, but you'll be quite relaxed, and you'll hear everything I say. You understand, Susan? Susan, do you understand?
You want to talk to me, Doc? Stop calling me Susan.
Well, who am I talking to?
Oh, who do you think? Brandy. That's a bloody good name. I picked it myself.
Oh, Brandy. You and I have got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, sure we do. You want to know what makes those two lily white sucks tick, don't you?
Yes, I do. Where's Laura now?
She's around. She doesn't want to talk to you. Well, not now. I don't want to leave.
Laura. You're not scared of Laura, are you? Laura?
Don't tell Daddy.
Don't tell Daddy what? It's about your mother, isn't it? She's ill, isn't she?
She's sick. Daddy says, oh, Mum must be quiet. I mustn't make a noise. You mustn't make a noise.
So your mother's sick? And your father's told you must be quiet.
Yes.
But you didn't listen to him, did you?
No. Vanessa, she said I was a bad girl, but it wasn't me. But it was Brandy. She didn't listen. She didn't listen. Mummy died. But it wasn't me. It wasn't me. We was there. It was That's right, you snivelling little bitch. Go, blame it all on me.
Brandy.
She wanted to play with Mummy just as much as I did. And she never had the guts.
Always crawling to Daddy.
Oh, Mummy loved me more than her. I could make her laugh. No, you killed her! You killed her! They told you she would die if you didn't stop it, yet you're screaming and you're yelling and you didn't stop. You didn't care. You didn't care. You shut up! You just shut up, you hear me? You're nothing. You hear me? You are nothing! God, I only keep you around for laughs.
Laura? Is that right, Laura? Are you going to go on letting Brandy use you like this? Laura?
No! I'm not going to let you push me around anymore. Never again. You hear me? You are finished. You are finished. Get away from me, you bitch. You get away from me, you bitch! Get away! Laura! Laura, don't! Laura! Laura, no!
Laura? Brandy? Laura? Laura?
Brandy's gone. For good.
Well, of course, it's only an educated guess at the moment, but it seems that she was riddled with guilt because she felt that the frivolous side of her nature was responsible for the death of her mother, and the personality split into different elements to try and compensate.
Sounds incredible. And Laura got rid of Brandy simply by standing up to her?
Yes. Well, it would appear that Brandy only existed at all because Laura was afraid of that side of her nature.
God. That poor girl must have been living through a nightmare.
Yes. And she's still a very confused girl. She's going to need a lot of intensive psychotherapy. And that's why I'd like to see her transferred to a private sanatorium as soon as possible. Now, how do you think the department's going to react to that?
Oh, there shouldn't be any problem there. She's only got a week left of her sentence anyway. Should we keep her apart from the other women?
Oh, no, I don't think it's necessary. If we isolate her, she's liable to start doubting herself again.
Well, with any luck, we should be able to get her transferred tomorrow. I just wish we could sort out the problem with Mason as quickly.
Mason? Oh, yes. That's one of the 1,001 crazy acts to try and prove she's innocent. Let's see. In for bigamy, 5 counts. That certainly indicates she has a problem, but I doubt if it's going to help in her efforts for an acquittal.
So when she finally did notice me and asked me my name, I couldn't remember.
Well, at least you can laugh about it.
I have to. Happens to me often. I guess it must be because they're so, I don't know, young maybe. I don't feel like that with you.
Oh, I don't know whether to take that as a compliment or not.
No, what I meant was I can be myself with you and it doesn't matter. You make me feel special.
Well, you are special, Dennis.
I mean, for one thing, you're Marty's friend, and I think any mother would feel maternal towards her son's friends.
No, but you're more than Marty's mum to me, Mrs. Morris. You're the only woman who's ever taken the time to listen to me.
Now, look, Dennis, I know you probably won't believe this, but you will meet a nice girl one day.
No, I've tried. Never works.
But it will. Trust me.
Yeah, guess you're right. I just wanted to thank you.
It's all right. Oh, come on. We better get moving. Got lots to do before I go back to work.
Still friends?
Yes, Dennis. Still friends.
Yes, I see. Thanks anyway, Sally. Oh, Joan, have you seen Mr. Douglas anywhere this afternoon?
No, I've just come from reception. There was no sign of him there.
That's odd. His secretary said he'd left his office some time ago to come and see me.
Oh, look, I've got Carter's file here. Dr. Weissman's had a word with her father and he's coming for an interview this afternoon.
Hello? Can I help you?
Yes, it's Anne Reynolds from Wentworth Detention Centre here. Is Mr. Douglas at home?
No, I'm sorry. This is the cleaner. He was here when I arrived, doing his packing. Then he said something about going to the airport.
Oh, well, thank you very much for your help. Goodbye.
Is something wrong, Governor?
I don't know. I may be jumping to conclusions. Oh, hello? Inspector Fields, please.
Come in. Thank you, Mrs. O'Shea.
Where am I? You're not the king.
No, and you're not Joan of Arc either, Pixie. I'm Dr. Weissman. Mrs. Reynolds tells me you're having a little trouble adjusting.
Oh, it's not me. I've adjusted. Do you know you have the most amazing eyes? They twinkle. Just like Phillips, my second husband. Oh, such a lovely man. You look a lot like him.
Well, why don't you sit down and relax and we'll talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about your marriages. Did you always want to get married?
Of course, every girl does. Except perhaps for those career women. And I've always think that they're a little bit strange, don't you?
It's what you think is important, Pixie. Go on.
Well, Mother always used to say that nice girls don't work. Or at least she didn't. She was 17 when she married Daddy, although she didn't have me until she was almost 40. A little gift from God, Daddy used to call me. Oh, I remember I used to stand at the back of the church and watch Daddy perform the wedding ceremonies and think how lovely the ladies looked. And Daddy was always so proud that they'd chosen him to marry them. Oh, goodness, listen to me. I'm prattling on, aren't I?
No, not at all. You just say whatever comes into your mind.
You sure? Well, so many things come into my mind, it's hard to keep track of them.
I'm sure. Go on.
Well, where was I? Oh, yes, the wedding ceremonies.
Fantastic. Thank you again. I'll try and think of some way of repaying you. I might even give you a freebie. Listen, don't knock it. You mightn't get a second chance. Okay. You just stay with him until then. Bye-bye. Trudy! Get your butt in here. I think we have struck pay dirt.
Is it about Sharon?
Next best thing, Matt's been nosing around on this story and he's come up with a guy who used to belong to this alternative life force setup.
Used to?
Yeah, that's right. Now he wouldn't touch him with a 10-foot pole. And has he got some stories to tell?
That's fantastic news. Well, I mean, where is he? Can we talk to him? Or?
Matt's going to bring him round here tonight. Oh, I hope you don't mind, do you?
Of course I don't mind. We're in this together, aren't we? I mean, if there's going to be any action, I want a part of it.
Do you know what you are, Bryant? A sticky beak.
Oh, come on.
And a damn good mate.
Laura? You all right?
Daddy, they told me. Daddy, that wasn't me. I could never attack you like that.
I know, love. I understand. Well, I'm trying to. It's not easy. What Dr. Wiseman tells me, it's going to take me some time to understand it all.
I wish you don't hate me.
Hate you? How could I? That person wasn't you. Anyway, the doctor tells me you've overcome that problem now.
Randy won't come back. She's gone, but there could be others. I'm still sick. Dr. Wiseman thinks I should go to a private hospital.
I know. He's trying to arrange an immediate release for you.
But I can't. That would cost the earth.
I'll take care of that. For the times I didn't help you when you needed me.
I could never pay you back.
Well, if there's some small chance of me getting my daughter back, that'll be payment enough.
Keep your distance.
It's all right, Laura. We've plenty of time.
Edward Douglas.
You wait here.
Excuse me, sir. Mr. Douglas.
Yes, look, I don't know what you want, but I have a plane to catch.
I think you know what we want, sir. You are Mr. Douglas from the Department of Corrective Services.
Yes, you know me. I don't know you. Now, if you'll excuse me...
Detective Inspector Field, sir. Now, we'd like you to come with us just to answer a few questions.
Oh, look, this is utterly ridiculous. You don't understand my position. My work, I have to catch this plane.
I think you should come quietly, sir. We don't want a scene, do we?
You're overstepping the mark, Inspector. The Minister will hear about this, I promise you.
I can promise you, sir, he already has.
No, please, don't do that.
Please.
Right. Gentlemen. Well, all I had was stewed beef left over from the Battle of the Coral Sea. I can't stay up and give us a home-cooked meal. My stomach is screaming for mercy.
I'd love to, darling, but a split ship tends to muck up your day completely. But I did have a lovely lunch, thanks to Dennis.
Dennis? Did he go down the street for some cigarettes?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I met him outside.
Well, I'll be with you in a minute.
Okay.
Hello?
It's me. I haven't got anything on. Why don't you take off? It's me, Mrs. Morris. Dennis.
Oh, sorry, Dennis, I'm coming.
Oh, that's all right. I forgot my car keys.
Oh, are those them?
Yeah. Marty reckons I'd forget my head if it wasn't screwed on. You okay, Mrs. Morris? Look a bit pale.
Well, I am a bit shaky. That anonymous caller phoned again.
What, just now?
Couldn't have timed it better if he'd tried.
You sure you're all right?
Yes, I'm fine. I remembered to use the whistle. I think I may have burst his eardrums.
Well, it serves him right. Look, maybe you should call the police.
No, there's no need for that. I'll ring Telecom in the morning and inquire about an unlisted number. But right now I must go to work and I'm holding both of you
Well,
up.
I wasn't going to be doing anything anyway. Look, maybe I can meet you after work and see you home. At least make sure nothing else can happen.
Oh, no, Dennis, I wouldn't dream of it.
You mean you don't need my help?
No, it's not that. For heaven's sake, Dennis, I'm working till midnight. I don't want you and Marty hanging around till then.
I wouldn't mind. Look, I've told you I want to help. Oh, you're such a lovely lady. I can't understand anyone who'd want to frighten you.
Oh, well, I don't think he meant it personally. I mean, I'm just a phone number.
Well, I wish I could help.
Ah, hello. I'm glad I caught you before you left.
Just in time. Was that the Mason report?
Yes, it is. And you weren't wrong. She's quite a character.
Then it was all an act just to get transferred.
Yes, she's a very fertile imagination. But there's no suggestion that she's criminally insane. I would like to see her again, though.
Why, if there's nothing wrong with her?
Well, it's not what the courts would call insane, but she certainly has a problem. Her obsession with weddings is an indication of that.
Well, we are keeping you busy, aren't we? I'm starting to wonder just how many of these women have psychological problems.
We all have problems of some sort. Remind me to tell you about mine sometime.
That'll be them now.
Yeah, listen, girls, I hate to pull rank, but we're going to need some privacy. There's a terrific card game going on in the kitchen. Why don't you go and lose some money?
Jude, this is Peter Shannon.
Hello, Peter. Make yourself comfortable. Would you like a coffee or something?
Look, could we hold off on the coffee? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm just so anxious to hear what Peter has to say.
Sure.
Sit down.
Thanks.
Matt tells me that you used to belong to this alternative life force group.
Yes, although it seems like a million years ago now, though. I was one of the first disciples. I spent 2 years in that place.
Well, you seem a pretty bright sort of guy. I mean, what made you get involved?
Well, a whole lot of things, I guess. Exams, problems at home. I felt stifled. I was looking for an out from all the pressures.
Oh, look, I can see all that, but what I don't understand is how does anybody get taken in by a con man like that in the first place?
Well, he can be pretty charismatic. I worshipped him. I even stole for him. I forged my dad's signature on a cheque, and I gave it to Blackman for the commune. If my parents hadn't been so great, I'd be in prison right now.
Well, if you were in so deep, what changed your mind?
He didn't. He had it changed for him. Yeah, I'd still be there if Dad hadn't literally snatched me off the streets while I was out begging.
You mean you were kidnapped by force?
He didn't have any other choice. You see, I was too far gone to listen to reason. I'd never broken away from the commune off my own bat. I was convinced that my life depended on them.
So your dad changed your mind?
No way. You need a real professional to take your brain apart and put it back together again.
Peter's parents hired a deprogrammer. It's a pretty harrowing experience, but it does work.
Yeah. It nearly destroyed me, though. I mean, it's pretty heavy stuff, and I fought it like the devil. I really believed all that bull the Reverend gave us about the forces of evil trying to destroy the perfect truth. Mind you, once I was back to normal, I started to see things the way they really were.
What sort of things?
Well, things like the Reverend living in comparative luxury while we were living like beggars. You see, I used to do his books too, and there was always more money in his account than the commune's. Of course, I was too spaced out to even notice the discrepancies then.
After the deprogramming, were you your old self again?
Yes. But believe me, deprogramming's a nightmare. I'm living a normal life now, so I'm grateful for it. But I never want to go through that again.
Well, I think maybe we better have that coffee.
And what you're saying is that these personalities were actually living inside you like a whole lot of people sharing the same flat. And you didn't even know they were there.
Well, I knew something was wrong, but I thought I was just having blackouts or something. I never dreamed that there was actually somebody else taking over me.
Somebody else? Come on, Brandy, you know, some of this is pretty hard to bar.
Please, Bea, don't call me that. I never want to be reminded of that side of me again. I'm Laura. Always have been Laura.
Well, you are very different from the other one. And if you have really got shot of her, then all I can say is bloody good riddance.
Bea, if she ever... Well, I mean, as if Brandy ever did anything unkind or bad, I mean, please believe me, I knew nothing about it, but I am sorry.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry too, Laura. We didn't exactly do anything to help you out, did we? And I should have known better. I've been there a couple of times myself.
It's hard for you to know what was happening when I didn't even know myself. They want to take me out of here, Bea, to a private hospital.
Do you want to go?
I'm not sure. Maybe I'll never get really well, but I guess I have to try.
Yeah, sure you do. And you'll make it. Just keep believing that. I can always drink that tea before it gets cold.
Cheers.
Oh, that time already, eh?
Yes, thank God I've had it.
Oh, well, I'm here for the rest of the night. Still looks like being a quiet one.
You do so many double shifts, I don't know how you cope.
Well, I don't have anything else to do with my time, but then I do think that's my business, don't you?
I'm sorry I mentioned it. Good night.
Yeah. Good night.
Good night, Greg.
Now, I know this is usually your working hours, but us oldies need some sleep.
What time is it anyway?
It's nearly 1 o'clock.
Oh, God, I must have been sitting here for hours.
Yeah, that's about the size of it. Here, drink this.
Oh, God, what is it?
It's cocoa. It'll help you sleep.
Oh, thanks. I'm not that desperate.
You could have fooled me.
Yeah, you're right. Listening to Peter tonight, it made my flesh crawl. But if that's the only way I have of saving Sharon...
Listen, honey, you might be able to solve the whole thing by just a common-sense talk to her. I mean, Peter was in that place for 2 years. That's a huge chunk out of anyone's life. She's only been there a short time.
Yeah, you might be right. I hope so. It'd be bloody awful if I had to use the method Peter went through. Oh, God, she's only a kid.
Well, if you don't go home and get some sleep and stop worrying, you're not going to be any use to her or yourself.
Old Mother Bryant, the voice of wisdom.
Can we talk about this tomorrow?
No, I've made up my mind, Judy. I'm not going to back out now. I don't care if it's legal or not. I've got to help her, no matter what it takes.
Yeah, I know, love. And don't forget, you're not in this on your own.
I know, Jude.
Will you drink that?
Yes?
I've got your whistle now. See how easily I can get to you. Anytime I want.
He used to give me roses. I wish he could again. But that was on the outside, and things were different then. On the inside, the sun still shines, and the rain falls down. But the sun and rain are pretty. together, sharing all the love with more, till I had to face the nightmare.